Do you ever wake up feeling just tired, stiff, like the day is already a mountain to climb before you've even put your feet on the floor? Does it feel like your body just isn't quite cooperating the way it used to? Maybe a bit creaky, a bit foggy in the head until the second cup of tea. It's a reality many of us face as the years add up, isn't it? That feeling of perhaps not having the same bounce or clarity we once did. The energy levels might dip. The memory might feel a step behind. And sometimes, simple things like digestion feel sluggish. It can be frustrating, even a little disheartening. You might wonder, is this just how it is now? Is this the inevitable slide? Well, my grandpa faced those feelings too, long ago. He wasn't someone who went to a fancy gym or ate exotic health foods. He was a simple man, but he had a certain routine, a quiet set of things he did every single morning, without fail. At the time, I didn't pay much attention. It was just Grandpa being Grandpa. But looking back, I realized those simple, consistent actions were his secret weapon against those very feelings of aging that so many of us experience. They weren't complicated. They didn't cost a fortune. But they seemed to lay the foundation for his days, keeping him active, sharp, and generally in good spirits well into his later years. It took me a while to understand the power in what seemed so ordinary. Now, I do them too. In this video, I want to share what my grandpa did every morning, and how these simple habits can make a surprising difference in how you feel, potentially boosting your energy, helping with stiffness, keeping your mind clearer, and just setting you up for a better day. Every day. These aren't revolutionary new findings, but they are time-tested principles wrapped up in simple actions. We'll look at a handful of these daily anchors that, when put together, create a powerful ripple effect on your health and well-being. You might be surprised at how accessible they are. Watch to the end, because there's something about the combination of these habits, and perhaps the very last one I'll mention, that might just surprise you the most about their true impact. Let's start with the very first thing my grandpa did. Even before the kettle went on for his morning tea, the absolute moment his feet touched the floor, before anything else, he would reach for a glass of water he'd left by his bedside table the night before. Not cold water, mind you. He always preferred it room temperature, sometimes even slightly warm, and he'd drink the whole glass, slowly, deliberately, before he did anything else at all. It seemed so basic, almost unremarkable, but he used to say it was like waking up the inside, and he was absolutely right. Think about it. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, maybe even longer, your body hasn't had any liquid. You're mildly dehydrated, even if you don't feel it yet. Dehydration, even slight, can be the root cause of so many little aches and sluggish feelings we attribute to getting older. It can make you feel tired, give you a headache, make your skin feel dry, and yes, it definitely impacts digestion. Your body uses water for practically every function, flushing out waste, transporting nutrients, keeping your joints lubricated, maintaining circulation, and keeping your brain working properly. Starting the day by rehydrating after a long stretch without water is like giving your car a necessary fluid top-up before you start the engine. If you try to drive a car with low oil, it's going to struggle, isn't it? Your body is the same. My grandpa didn't know all the science behind it back then. Of course, he just knew it made him feel better. He'd say, "Gets things moving." And that phrase covered a lot. He'd find he had more energy, fewer little aches, and crucially, his digestion was reliable. Constipation can be a real issue for people as they get older. And often, simple dehydration is a major culprit. Water helps move everything along in the digestive system. A glass of water first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, can stimulate the bowels and help prevent that uncomfortable blockage. It's a gentle, natural way to encourage regularity. Beyond digestion, that first glass of water helps rehydrate your brain. Even mild dehydration can affect cognitive function, concentration, memory, and mood. Drinking water first thing helps to clear out the cobwebs and can genuinely make you feel more alert and focused without needing caffeine straight away. It also gives your metabolism a little kickstart. Your body needs water to perform metabolic processes efficiently. By hydrating, you're helping your body burn calories and process nutrients more effectively throughout the day. And the temperature matters, too. While cold water can be a bit of a shock to the system first thing, room temperature or warm water is gentler. Some people find warm water with a squeeze of lemon even more beneficial for digestion and detoxification, though my grandpa just stuck to plain water. The key is consistency. It wasn't just a one-off thing for him. It was the non-negotiable start to his day. Every single day. Making this a habit is incredibly simple. Just get a glass of water ready the night before and put it where you'll see it immediately when you wake up. By your bed, on your dresser, wherever works. Make it the very first physical action you take. Don't check your phone. Don't turn on the news. Just reach for that glass. Drink it slowly. Be mindful of it. It's a small act of self-care right at the beginning of your day. You might not feel a dramatic difference on day one, but after a week, 2 weeks, a month, you'll likely start to notice those subtle improvements, feeling a little more awake, a little less stiff, and hopefully, experiencing smoother digestion. It's such a fundamental step, yet so often overlooked. Now, once he'd had his water, Grandpa didn't just sit down and wait for breakfast. The next thing he did was move, not a strenuous workout. Nothing that required special clothes or equipment. He'd simply go through a series of gentle stretches and movements. He called it loosening the hinges. He'd start slowly, maybe sitting on the edge of his bed, gently rotating his ankles and wrists, then standing up and doing some slow reaches towards the ceiling. Gentle twists from side to side, maybe bending over slowly to touch his toes or as close as he could get that day. He might swing his arms gently or do some knee lifts. Again, nothing fancy. Just simple movements designed to get the blood flowing and ease out the stiffness that builds up overnight. This daily gentle movement is absolutely vital, especially as we age, when we sleep. Our muscles can stiffen, and our joints can feel less lubricated. Getting up and immediately engaging in some form of gentle exercise helps to warm up the muscles, increase circulation, and improve flexibility. This isn't about building bulk or improving endurance. It's about maintaining mobility and preventing that feeling of being rigid and locked up. Think about how a cat stretches when it wakes up from a nap. They instinctively stretch and lengthen their bodies. We should too. Those morning aches and pains can often be significantly reduced by simply moving gently. It helps to distribute the synovial fluid in your joints, which is like your body's natural lubricant. It also helps to get oxygenated blood flowing to your muscles and organs, which helps you feel more awake and reduces that morning sluggishness. Grandpa's routine wasn't fixed to the minute or identical every day. Some mornings he'd spend more time stretching his back. Other days he'd focus on his legs. The point was the consistency of doing something, however small it seemed. He might spend 10 or 15 minutes on this. He'd often do it by an open window, taking slow, deep breaths as he moved. That added benefit of fresh air and conscious breathing shouldn't be underestimated either. It helps oxygenate your blood and calm your nervous system, setting a peaceful tone for the day. If you're not used to morning movement, start incredibly small. Just a few gentle stretches while sitting on the edge of your bed, some shoulder rolls, neck tilts, ankle rotations. As you feel able, add a few standing stretches, reaching overhead, gentle side bends. Listen to your body. Don't push into pain. Just move to the point of gentle tension. The goal is to feel more fluid, not to train for a marathon. Consistency is far more important than intensity here. Doing 5 minutes every day is infinitely better than doing a strenuous 30-minute workout once a week. This habit directly combats that feeling of morning stiffness and can significantly improve your mobility and balance over time. It prepares your body for the day ahead, making everyday tasks feel easier and less taxing. It's about maintaining function and independence. Grandpa was able to stay active and independent for so long, and I truly believe this simple act of loosening the hinges every morning played a big part in that. So, we've talked about hydration and gentle movement. These are the foundational physical steps Grandpa took. But his morning routine wasn't just about the body. It was also about the mind and setting the right tone for the day. After his movement, before settling down for breakfast, he would spend some quiet time engaged in a simple activity that required just a little bit of focus. For him, this often involved something like a crossword puzzle, reading a few pages of a book, not the newspaper with all its stresses, but something calming or interesting. Or sometimes just sitting quietly with a cup of tea, looking out the window, and simply observing the birds or the changes in the garden. He wasn't meditating in a formal sense, but he was definitely engaging in a form of mindful presence and gentle mental stimulation. This habit of engaging the brain first thing, in a calm, non-stressful way, is incredibly beneficial for cognitive function as we age. Our brains, like our bodies, benefit from being woken up gently and given something to do. Diving straight into the demands of the day, emails, news headlines, sorting out problems, can feel overwhelming. But a simple puzzle, reading a passage that makes you think, or even just quiet observation, encourages your brain to start firing in a relaxed way. Grandpa used to say it helped him get his thoughts in order, and I think that's a perfect way to describe it. It provides a buffer zone between the sleep state and the busyness of the day. It allows your mind to transition smoothly. If he did a crossword, it was about gentle problem solving and accessing his vocabulary, a good workout for certain parts of the brain. If he read, it was about focus and comprehension. If he simply observed, it was about engaging his senses and being present, which is a powerful way to reduce anxiety and start the day feeling grounded. This practice helps maintain mental acuity, improve focus, and can even help with memory recall. It's about keeping those neural pathways active and healthy. It's not about difficult mental gymnastics, but consistent, gentle engagement, picking up a book for 10 minutes, working on a portion of a jigsaw puzzle, doing a Sudoku, or even just sitting and intentionally noticing 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste like your tea. These are all simple ways to incorporate this element into your morning. Find something you enjoy that requires a small amount of focus but isn't frustrating. The key is consistency and pleasure. It shouldn't feel like a chore. If crosswords frustrate you, try something else. If reading first thing feels heavy, maybe just spend 5 minutes looking at a beautiful picture or listening to a piece of calming music while focusing only on the sound. The point is to dedicate a short, quiet period to gentle mental activity before the demands of the day kick in. Grandpa's quiet time was often accompanied by his first cup of tea. He was a creature of habit in the most comforting way. And that leads nicely to the next element of his morning, his breakfast. Again, nothing complicated, but very deliberate. He didn't skip breakfast, ever. And his breakfast was usually built around slow-release energy foods. Often it was porridge, or sometimes wholemeal toast with a little jam or a boiled egg. Never sugary cereals or pastries. He understood, intuitively, that what he ate first thing set the stage for his energy levels for the rest of the morning. Starting the day with a balanced breakfast, particularly one that includes fiber and protein, is crucial, especially as we get older. It provides sustained energy, preventing that mid-morning slump or the urge to snack on something unhealthy. Fiber, found in things like oats, wholemeal bread, fruits, and vegetables, is essential not just for energy, but also for digestion, which we've already touched upon as being so important. Protein helps you feel full and satisfied, and is vital for maintaining muscle mass, which becomes increasingly important as we age. Grandpa's porridge wasn't instant. He'd cook rolled oats slowly with water or milk. He might add a few berries or nuts. This provided complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly, avoiding a blood sugar spike and subsequent crash. It also provided a good dose of fiber. If he had toast, it was always proper wholemeal bread, not white, again for the fiber and slower energy release. A boiled egg offered excellent protein. Contrast this with a breakfast of sugary cereal, white toast with sugary jam, or a pastry. These things give you a quick burst of energy, but lead to a rapid drop in blood sugar, leaving you feeling hungry and tired soon after. Consistent blood sugar levels are important not just for energy, but also for overall health and can impact mood and cognitive function, making breakfast a non-negotiable part of your morning and choosing nutrient-dense, slow-release foods is a powerful habit. It supports your energy levels, your digestion, helps manage your weight, and contributes to stable blood sugar. You don't need to be a gourmet chef. Simple things like porridge with fruit, wholemeal toast with an egg or avocado, Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, or a small smoothie with fruit, spinach, and a source of protein powder or yogurt are all excellent options. The key, again, is consistency and choosing foods that genuinely fuel your body rather than just fill it up temporarily. Grandpa's approach was simple. Eat something substantial and nourishing that will keep you going. This prevented him from feeling tired and reaching for sugary snacks between meals. It laid a solid foundation for his energy and his mood throughout the morning. So, we've covered the physical hydration and movement, the mental engagement, and the foundational nutrition. There's one more thing my grandpa did every morning. Something that wasn't about the body or even just the mind in isolation, but about connection and setting a positive intention for the day. This wasn't a scheduled event, but a spontaneous, simple act of reaching out. Every morning, without fail, he would connect with someone he cared about. It might be a quick phone call to my grandma if she was visiting her sister, or a call to one of his children just to say good morning, or even just a brief friendly chat with a neighbor he saw in the garden. He didn't have long, drawn-out conversations, especially first thing. It was often just a minute or two, just checking in, he'd say, or saw the sun's out, thought of you, or even just a cheerful morning over the fence. It was a small, consistent dose of social connection right at the start of the day. Why is this simple act so powerful? Especially as we get older, loneliness and social isolation can have a significant negative impact on both mental and physical health. They are linked to increased risks of depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, and even physical ailments. Maintaining connections, even brief ones, provides a sense of belonging and purpose. It reminds you that you are part of a community, that you are cared for, and that you have people you care about. Grandpa's morning connection wasn't about solving problems or discussing important matters. It was purely about acknowledging the other person and the relationship. It was a tiny, deliberate act of maintaining the threads that connected him to the world. It set a positive emotional tone for his day, knowing he'd reached out, or that someone might reach out to him, fostered a sense of warmth and security. This habit is perhaps the most adaptable to modern life. A quick text message saying, "Thinking of you, have a lovely day," is the modern equivalent of Grandpa's quick phone call. It could be a brief video call with a grandchild, commenting on a friend's social media post, or, yes, still, a quick phone call to a family member or friend, if physical interaction is possible. A brief wave and chat with a neighbor while you get the paper can also fulfill this need. The key is making it a conscious, regular part of your morning. It doesn't have to be the same person every day. It could be rotating through family members, friends, or neighbors. The point is to start the day with an act that acknowledges and strengthens a social bond. This simple ritual combats feelings of isolation and brings a little dose of warmth and positivity into the first part of your day. It's amazing how much difference a friendly voice or face, even for a moment, can make to your outlook. So, looking back at Grandpa's mornings, it wasn't one single miracle thing he did. It was a combination of simple, consistent habits hydrating his body first thing, gently moving to loosen up, engaging his mind quietly, fueling himself with nourishing food, and connecting with others. None of these are groundbreaking alone, are they? We've all heard that drinking water is good, or that exercise helps, or that breakfast is important. But the power, the real secret, wasn't just doing one of these things occasionally. It was the stacking of these simple actions, performed consistently, every single morning, each one building on the last, creating a cumulative effect that was far greater than the sum of its parts. Hydration made movement easier. Movement helped clear the mind. A clear mind made mindful engagement more effective. Nourishing food provided energy to sustain the positive momentum, and connection provided the emotional fuel and sense of purpose that made it all worthwhile. It's like building a wall, brick by brick. One brick doesn't do much on its own, but consistently laying bricks builds something strong and resilient. Grandpa's morning routine was his daily bricklaying for a strong, resilient day, and, over time, for a strong, resilient life. He wasn't aiming for perfection. He was aiming for consistency. He wasn't trying to be someone he wasn't. He was simply taking care of the person he was, day after day. And that's the encouraging message here for you. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You don't need to become a different person. You can start small. Maybe just begin with that glass of water tomorrow morning. Do that for a week. Once that feels natural, add 5 minutes of gentle stretching. Then maybe swap your sugary cereal for some porridge. Then try calling a friend once or twice a week first thing. Build these habits gradually, at your own pace. Be patient with yourself. Some days might not go perfectly, and that's okay. Just return to it the next day. Remember, these habits aren't about adding stress to your life. They are about building a simple, supportive framework for your day. They are acts of self-kindness. They are about telling your body and mind, I'm here for you. I'm going to give you what you need to feel your best today. And consistently doing that sends a powerful message and creates real, tangible changes over time. More energy, less stiffness, a clearer mind, better digestion, and a greater sense of connection and well-being. My grandpa lived a long, active, and fulfilling life, full of simple joys. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. But he had a richness in his daily living, a contentment that I now see was deeply connected to these fundamental morning practices. They weren't a cure-all for everything, of course, but they were a powerful foundation that helped him navigate the challenges of aging with grace and resilience. And I believe they can do the same for you. It's never too late to start building these habits. It's never too late to invest in your own well-being. One simple morning ritual at a time. Imagine waking up tomorrow feeling just a little bit better, a little less stiff, a little more clear-headed, knowing you've already done something good for yourself. That feeling builds momentum. So, why not give it a try? Pick one of these habits: the water, the movement, the quiet mental time, the nourishing breakfast, or the connection, and commit to doing it every morning for a week. See how it feels. Then maybe add another. See how they work together. You might just find that my grandpa's simple morning secret becomes your secret too. I'd love to hear which of these habits resonates most with you, or if you already do some of them. Have you noticed a difference? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could encourage someone else who's watching. If you found this helpful, please give the video a like It really helps the channel reach more people who could benefit from this kind of information. And if you want more practical tips and inspiration for living your best life at every age, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching. Remember, small, consistent steps taken each day can lead to profound positive changes. Live your best life at every age.